So, there are not organizers at this manifestation. Who are you?
We are all Georgians. We're from Georgia. Some of us are of different nationalities, mixed nationalities. We all come from Georgia, and we want Russian troops to stop an action of Georgian country. We want freedom, and we want our territories back, and that's why we are all here. We just called each other and said that we were coming here today, just to say to the rest of the world to back up Georgia and to give us some protection and to save us from Russian troops, our country.
Do you ask something also to the European Union?
That's the same appeal to European Union, to NATO, and to all the democratic countries. Exactly the same message to all of the rest of the country, to wake up and to protect Georgia by all means, by diplomatic means and negotiations, to stop the Russian troops from invasion and from taking over the small country and murdering the small country.
Why do you think that all this war started? Because the bombings of the Russian were not coming from nothing. They arrived after an episode, if I'm not wrong.
That was only the reason to say that we started bombing the South Ossetian disputed territory, but this was historically our land, and we wanted Russians to clear out our land. That was historically our land, and Russia has no right. We are the rightful owners of that land, nobody else, only Georgia.
So you're telling that they were looking just for an excuse to invade Georgia?
That was just an excuse. If they wanted the disputed lands only back to them, then there is no reason to invade the proper Georgian territory. No reason at all.
Thanks a lot. We are in this manifestation.
Because I worked in Georgia for 10 years.
Are you from?
Actually, I'm Irish originally.
Yes.
I've also lived in Hungary, Azerbaijan, and I've worked in Central Europe for the last 20 years.
Okay. When did this manifestation start?
About 20 minutes, half an hour ago. No, an hour ago.
How long will you go on?
Oh, half an hour perhaps.
Your proposals, your questions.
My questions? Maybe that Europe would actually wake up before Russia turns back into the Soviet Union again.
What do you think about the position of the European Union about that, about this war?
Well, it'd be nice to know if the European Union has a position. It doesn't seem to have one, except oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And that's fine and good. It makes people feel better, but it doesn't solve problems.
What do you think? This war, how long will it go on?
As long as Vladimir Putin thinks it's in his interest to do so. Russia join Europe? Never. Maybe Russia would like Europe to join Russia, but that's another story.
How do you think that the situation will go on? Which will be the, I don't know, the prosecution?
As far as Mr. Putin's conscience will allow it to go, and I think that's very far. Perhaps he will storm Tbilisi, perhaps not. They've already cut the country in half. Maybe they'll cut it into 3s and 4s.
What do you think about all the countries that are politically friends of Russia and don't say anything about this war?
There's not much. Does Russia have any friends? Maybe Russia never really has any friends, except it has countries that are afraid of it and do what it says. And that's the way Russians like things. Russia doesn't understand the idea of reciprocity, of quid pro quo. It understands I'm bigger than you or I'm smaller than you. I'm not your equal. That is something Russia never understands.
What do you think of the country that don't make opposition? They are not neutral. They are indifferent about this situation. Like I think all the countries at the moment, or not?
What happens when somebody comes knocking on your door?
Thanks a lot.
It's easy to sleep on another man's wound.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
No problem.